melanin queen herself in the flesh, the mother of my children.
There it is.
My lover, home, a friend. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get it.
I'm clear over there, Woo. On the count. Shit. See how this nigga do? Nigga the edge up, boy.
Nigga cut up.
He act like he don't work at a barber shop.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
10-4, coming in hot. Roger.
We're gonna do that cream shit anyway. Oh yeah, do that shit.
All right, here we go. Pictures up, quiet on set, quiet on set. Camera 1 rolling, camera 2 rolling, camera 3 rolling, audio. And action. Ross.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world today. I hope you're having a great day and you're making it great. This is the Jetblack Daily Show. I'm Mr. Jetblack, Carl Sr.
And it's your boy, Corey LaGucci Grays, as we continue and carry on the legacy of Mr. Aaron T. Jones. Hashtag Paw Guard.
Hashtag Jetblack. If you haven't had the opportunity, please visit the website, thejetblackempowerment.com. That's thejetblackempowerment.com. And you, too, can feel like you're a part of this Jetblack experiment. Experience.
Get it now.
Dog, I can't get it right. You know what
Get
I'm
it
saying?
now.
Listen, you too can donate. Hit that Cash App, Unique 3815. That's Unique 3815. Also, you can write that check.
Write it.
And make it payable to the Aaron T. Jones Memorial Fund. That is the Aaron T. Jones Memorial Fund. And remember, you too can look good with a purpose.
And you know what that means. Shop till you drop
Yes,
at
sir.
the Jetblack Shop.
That's right. Visit that shop, shopjetblack.org. That's shopjetblack.org. Listen, we got something very, very special happening on Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. Meet us at the Village on Eugene. That's 1325 Eugene Street here in the Gate City. That's you. Gate City, that's you, your family in Greensboro, North Carolina. Meet us there. It's going to be fun and food for all. That's when you'll get to know what Jet Black Empowerment is all about. Look, Gucci, what's up with you, baby?
Hey, you already know I'm blessed and highly favored to be back in the building once again as we empower, inspire,
Yes, sir.
as well as uplift.
Come on, now.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
What about you, Unc? How you living?
Hey, man, I'm feeling good. Like I always say, I'm still warm in my body, and I ain't cold, my
Hey,
brother.
that is
you know
a
what I'm
blessing.
saying?
You
Yes,
hear me?
Sir, nephew. I love it. Remember, each one reach one,
Teach
one. Look, we have a very, 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 very special guest in the building.
In the building.
We got the one,
And the only.
Miss Ashley.
Hold up, Unc. Let me take it from here.
Handle your business.
This guest is more than special. Nothing short of amazing.
Come on.
My melanin queen. Love of my life. Mother of my children. Inspiration. Motivation. The one.
Only.
The only. Ashley Freeman.
Hey, Ashley in the building. What's
Hello.
up, Ashley?
I'm good.
Listen, we're so glad to have you here. I know this king over here is so glad to have his
Yes.
queen here. You know what I'm saying? And we're very, very glad that you decided that you wanted to give and send your message and give back to the community of mental illness, because that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we get all into all of that, first,
Okay.
let's tell the people where you're from and what you do.
I'm from.
And what led you to what you do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm from High Point, North Carolina.
Okay.
What I do is I'm a stay-at-home mom first.
Right on.
I started a business called Mind Racer. I'm in the process of starting another business. I am a co-founder with Corey Graves,
All right.
the nonprofit In My Mind Inc. And what led me to start, I consider myself an advocate for mental health awareness.
Yeah.
What led me to that was going through it myself. Dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with postpartum depression with my kids. That's what inspired me to get in control of it.
Yeah.
And show people that you're not the only one that's going through it.
I love it. I love it. If you don't mind, could you kind of talk about what your days were like when you was dealing with postpartum and the postpartum aspect, and as well as, shoot, man, go ahead and talk about that postpartum, because that's definitely from a female perspective. We don't know nothing about that.
Rough.
Okay.
Rough. Believe it or not, I'm actually dealing with it now. But it wasn't as severe. With my daughter, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. I had her in 2018, and it hit me like brick. I mean, crying. Our baby had colic. She'll cry from 10 at night to 4 in the morning. She'll cry. I remember the very first day it started, she cried from 8 that morning. My mama brought her out the room. She was staying with us. She brought her out, and she gave her to me. And she cried from 8 to 10:30, and I'm sitting in the room rocking her and crying with her. My mama came out, we're trying. She didn't stop crying to 1:45. I remember it like it's yesterday. And ever since then. And what was hard about it is you have to be strong for your child. I'm a first-time mom at the time.
Gotcha.
I don't know how to explain it to anybody who doesn't know. You know, people expect you when you have a child to get right back out and do exactly what you were doing. And at the time, people didn't even know that I was going through depression or anxiety. All they knew is I dealt with migraines.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I had to go to work. I had a C-section, unfortunately, so I didn't go to work till 8 weeks. I had to go back in an environment and act okay.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It
Sure.
was horrible. Now, you know, I tried to take it on differently because what I went through, but you can never be prepared for postpartum.
I got
You can never. And I don't think that people really listen or think about it like it's serious, because even my doctor said, you know, being that you deal with depression, anxiety, you're most likely going to deal with it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of that
I
until, you know what I mean? So even now it's different, but it's still there. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So going through that, I had to pause for a minute.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to take in, to know that you took in all of that. Then on top of it, you went to work, being a mother, then being supportive to your husband. Well, y'all support each other. I won't speak on that, but I know y'all good folk. So y'all support each other. But just the day in journey and life of just being a mother alone, doing that.
Right.
What gave you the strength to keep pushing through that and not actually just blanking like we see sometimes with some of the mothers, where some of these instances they've gone through postpartum where they go off and they kill everybody in the damn house. What did you do to keep yourself afloat when those moments were just like so unbearable? What did you do?
The truth. I walked out. I would lay my baby down with Corey. I'd grab them keys and I would go. At the time, I did not know what to do. I would cry with my baby. What kept me from going crazy was seeing her. My daughter is very advanced, so when she was able to start using words, she's coming up to me and, you know, saying, it's okay, or don't cry. And that's when it'll be like, I can't sit here and cry every day, or I can't sit here and let this stress get to me, and it starts to affect her. Corey also was the reason I didn't go crazy. And I salute, you know, single moms who deal with postpartum depression, because I can't even imagine going through it without somebody. So he's also the reason I did not go crazy. If you don't have the support, and unfortunately, a lot of people do not have the support. Yeah. And it breaks my heart. I wish I could support everybody.
Sure.
But if you don't have that support, that's strength.
Wow. So, that's pretty amazing. You're a strong individual.
Yes, sir.
The fact that you in here today and you sitting on Jetblack platform and you do your own platform too.
Right.
When you talk about mental illness, that says a lot about you as a person too. Right. That you really are an overcomer, even though you're still dealing with. You've learned to, number one, I love what you said. You don't mask it. You took the mask off. Like you was like, "Yo, I'm dealing with this." So, were you clinically diagnosed with depression and anxiety before you got pregnant? So was it So before you got pregnant, you was dealing with this anyway?
Yeah. I got diagnosed in, 2015.
No, you're fine. Okay.
And in 2015, I tell people now that I hid it. I didn't tell anybody.
Sure. Not even me.
Yeah.
She didn't.
I didn't tell anybody.
Gotcha.
I mentioned migraines. I dealt with migraines since I was 10, and that will make you depressed. And I mean every day or every other day, a headache. Yeah. And I hid that from him. Sure. So I didn't tell him until 2017, 18. So yeah, I was diagnosed, but I didn't do anything that I was supposed to do to get better.
Come on, speak on that.
I just got diagnosed. I was supposed to take medication. I didn't. I was supposed to go to a therapist. I didn't. Anything I was dealing with, I was holding inside. I never wanted to vent. I hate venting. I hate believing it or not. It does something, and I didn't do anything to take care of it.
So you basically took on a passive aggressive role.
Right.
I used to be that way too. Very passive aggressive, wouldn't say anything, and then when the build up comes, and then when you pop off, boom, everybody be like,
"What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. And they don't realize that it's something else. It's some trauma. It's some things that you haven't faced yet that have caused you to do that. Right. But the good thing is, now you hear on this platform talking about it. You got a very supportive partner. And so now that you have figured all of this out, you've been diagnosed, now you're taking care of yourself and everything. And that's not to say that you don't have bad days, because we know we have good days and we have bad days. Right. We know that. But what led you to start? We already know what led you to it. Let's talk about the nonprofit organization that you are the CEO of. Right. That along with you, yourself, and your supportive partner here. Let's talk a little bit about Mind Racer a little bit. But not only let's don't talk about the organization yet. Let's talk about the therapy and what it does for you to have created Mind Racer. Right. And tell the people about Mind Racer. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it over to Lagucci. Okay. So he can interview you.
Well, first I'm gonna state this. So Mind Racer is the Mind Racer brand, which is clothing. I also with the Mind Racer brand, I don't want it to be just clothing. Sure. I want to create a program. And it's not just for people who deal with mental health. It's for the people who have somebody to deal with mental health. Yeah. And I want to use my personal experiences, my personal relationship, because I had to teach my partner how to deal with somebody dealing with that. Yeah. Because then, what do they do to not fall into depression dealing with somebody dealing with depression and anxiety?
I love that. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah.
What did you all do? And then I'll let Court, then I'm going to get out the way and let your king handle that, okay?
We could be here all day.
Literally.
Hey,
literally fine. All day.
Some of the things was, one, it's just, you have to figure it out. You have to figure out how somebody moves. He had to figure, because once again, I said I hid it. And two, I couldn't hide it anymore. Sure. So then he has to deal with, I'm working on it, but he's more, let's talk it out now. Let's not talk about it right now, because I say what I say and I'll hurt your feelings.
And it is what it is.
It is what it is,
You know
right?
what I mean?
And he also had to, I had to show them like every day it's not gonna be good days. I've had plenty of bad days. I still have plenty of bad days.
Sure.
And I think now he just knows how to deal with it. He can get me through a panic attack.
Yeah.
Get me through the anxiety attacks. He can help calm me down. He can just be supportive. He knows when to, okay, let me take the kids. Let me give you some time.
Yeah.
He just, you know what I mean?
He's
Just,
sensitive then about your needs.
Why are you feeling this way? Or why is, nothing. I always say with people, especially with anxiety, there's no small thing to a giant.
Yeah.
So I think that he has that down pat.
I got you.
I try.
Yeah.
Don't treat nothing small with me because it's not.
Right. The I got to ask you something. What type of medication did they subscribe you to? They put you on medication?
Yeah.
Ashley,
So
okay.
I can't tell you the exact names because
got
I
you.
tried different ones.
Okay.
But they
So you went through several. Let me ask you something, because and Corey, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get
do
on
your
it.
thing, you know what I mean? I know my old lady at the back of my hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do your thing.
I'm asking these questions because mental health is so serious. Whether you're dealing with depression, anxiety, whether you're dealing with you're dealing with bipolar, you have
PTSD, everything.
Everything that's under the category of mental illness, which of course comes from some type of trauma somewhere, right? We know that. So I went through about several different types of medication. And what I wanted to ask you, at first I used to have like a lot of adverse reactions to the medication, whether I broke out real bad, on my arms, so I went through I'm with you, 3 different type of medication. And they finally was able to put me on it was a very mild Buciprin is what they put me on. Very mild, put me right to sleep because I take it at night,
Right.
so I can sleep because of the insomnia. You deal with that whenever you have anxiety issues. So, what did they finally do for you? Did you have problems breaking out with it, or did you have any issues like that, or did you see where the chemicals within the medication wasn't really working for you, or?
Okay, so never had like a reaction or breaking out. I know one medicine we were playing with the dosage and also trying to, at the time, I'm supposed to be on blood pressure medicine, then the different migraine medicines, like 3 different ones, and then those. So trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I know one medicine, especially after I had my daughter, that's when the first time I got on medication is when I had my baby.
Okay, then.
I know one dosage, it just wasn't working. And you can tell. You
Sure.
can tell if I'm taking my medicine or I'm not.
That's right.
Okay, we upped it up. I remember trying to manage medicine is tricky too, because at the time I was getting up, going to work. We'll go to work, have to be there at 6. So I had to figure out, do I take it at night? Do I take it in the day?
Sure.
Well, at the time I did not know, and I was taking it in the morning.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, they upped the dose completely. I remember sitting in the office, checking parts, and it was somebody I was working with. I really, I trusted in him. And at the time, nobody at work knew what I was dealing with, and that was the
I
plan.
got you. Yeah.
It's somebody I could find in. And I told him, I said, I can't get up. I mean, I couldn't even stand up.
Yeah.
So then it's going back, okay, let's try this.
Sure.
Let's try that. It's really stressful too.
Yeah.
Trying to.
It can navigate through that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just trial and error, unfortunately.
Yeah. But you're still here though.
Yeah.
You're still here, and you still, like I said, you created Mind Racer, and I think that's awesome. That says, that says a lot about you as a person. That says, look, I'm dealing with this, but I want to be able to help somebody along the way and teach them how to navigate through my life experiences from your perspective. Because somebody else probably dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with, and guess what? They masking it too. They scared.
Yep,
Remember, this is the Jetblack Daily Show. It's about each one, reach one, teach one, as we try our best to tackle mental illness. And we have the one and only Miss Ashley Freeman here on today, who's speaking to us about her platform that she created called Mind Racer. So I'm going to turn it over to Lil Gucci and go ahead and take it to your
I
queen, brother.
appreciate you,
Yeah,
and
man.
I just want to start off by saying thank you for your transparency,
Yeah,
blessing us with your presence as well as your message.
yeah.
Of course.
And you know I love you.
Oh,
Let's get on down to it.
come on.
Okay.
Just like you said, you were diagnosed with it in 2015. What tips do you have or could give to a young woman or man, anybody dealing with it at a young age? What tips could you give them?
Don't keep it inside. You know, don't try to hide it. I think one of the biggest regrets is, and you know what, I can't even say that it's a big regret because I honestly didn't know the signs. That's the tricky part. Not everybody knows the signs to even get help.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't know the signs. I didn't even know what I was dealing with or why I was feeling the way I was feeling. So, you know, for the person who might even have a clue or they're hiding it, even if you feel like you can't talk to somebody, you know, that's when you need to go to a therapist.
Yep.
That's when you need to go to somebody you can confide in. And I tell all my friends, I tell Corey, I tell everybody, write it down. Write what you feel. I don't care if it's one word. I have notebooks for days. If I'm mad, I'm cussing you out in that notebook. If I'm happy, you know, if it's just words, if it's a list, you write it down. It's so many different ways to cope, you know, but I could tell you one way.
Yeah.
But you really have to find your way. But it's more just confide in somebody. You know, it's somebody willing to listen.
Yeah.
And it might not be in your circle. You know, the people in your circle don't really listen because it's you.
Yeah.
And they like, oh, you tripping. You know, go outside of your circle.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Step out of that comfort zone.
You have to. You have to. Because you'll feel so much better. And even if you're still, you know, I'm not saying that's what heals it, but you can just handle it better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's amazing right
That
there.
is amazing.
I got another one for you, babe.
Okay.
You know I got a whole lot of them up here in my mental.
Give them here.
You know I got my melanin queen looking beautiful. I got another one for you.
Okay.
Just like you said, you didn't diagnose 2015. I met you 2016, June
Right on.
13th, best day of my life. But that's another topic of discussion.
Right on.
Okay.
I didn't, personal truth, I didn't realize what anxiety and depression was until I met her and knew her and got to know all of her, you know what I mean, flaws and all. I didn't know.
Yeah.
What are some of the triggers? And I know it can be a lot.
Okay.
Please give
I
us
can
some
narrow it
main
down.
triggers.
Yeah.
If somebody else thinks something is wrong with them, like I was just back in the day, like, no, I'm just tripping.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I can't get my thoughts together. I'll be all right. I get better in a second.
Yeah.
Well, I want to, one that I don't even think people realize, because I didn't realize until we had an apartment. We had an apartment, and family get bigger, so it's crowded.
Yes, sir.
If I'm crowded, the house crowded, it's stuff everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like currently with kids, it's a trigger.
Right.
I'm going crazy.
Right.
You want to put me in a bad mood? It's my space crowded. I'm very big on space and balance. When I'm unbalanced, when everything is not, you know, together, where I don't know what to do, it's a trigger.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so that leads me to feng shui then, is what you have to have pretty much all the way in your house. So you got to have everything's got to flow.
Yeah.
Everything's got to flow. Because as soon as something is cluttered in there, you like, oh,
And you
Move
and
this, move that.
transparency moment, that's exactly what it is right now.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's why
Yeah.
we're in the process, you know, and
Yeah.
and I know some people like, oh, whatever, it's okay. And I'm saying it every day. When you hear me say one thing every day,
Yeah.
it's triggering me.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
got
and people
Mhm.
might not even notice. You know, that's why I tell people, if you constantly hear somebody say something, it's triggering them.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Another trigger, trying to think, it's so many.
Yeah.
Well, I know one right
What's
top.
Okay.
It's like somebody dealing with mental health issues. If they're
Oh,
not, somebody they're trying to communicate to is
Yeah.
not listening.
Woo.
Yes.
You know you can hearing is listening is two different things.
Yes, it is.
You can hear somebody, that don't mean you listen.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing I had to learn. You know, we let shit, one thing, in one in, out the other.
Yeah.
But that was one trick I learned. You gotta listen, like, and it can be like the smallest,
Yeah. But
little 2-word, 3-word sentence.
But when somebody dealing with anxiety, it's like huge.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's like, man.
I'm
no,
like,
it's
no,
serious.
pay attention. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
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 And then just as a mom, you're, I mean, I don't want to say it like it, but if you deal with what you deal with, then you will understand when I say that it's things your kids do that just trigger you.
Yeah.
You know?
I understand.
And as a mom, you get embarrassed by speaking on that.
Yeah.
Some people who don't understand, they're going to say, why, how can you even say that? But if you know, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much,
Yeah.
it's one of them things you got to understand.
Yeah.
Just like Granny used to say, everything glitter ain't gold. You know, you
Yes,
never
sir.
know what individual
Never
may
know
be
what
going
anybody's. And I think a lot of that is happening across our country.
100%.
There are moments of insanity that we see happen directly in front of us on full display. You know what I'm saying? Like lights, camera, action. We finna pop off. You know, it's some drama about to happen. You know, the incidents that are happening across our country, those are moments of insanity.
Right.
And I'm sure all of us have probably had our moments of insanity, whether we want to say we have or not. All of us have had some moments of insanity where we done lost it and went over the edge.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? At some point in our life.
And I had said it one time on my Facebook, but you know, what I try to get to people to realize is how long are you gonna, you know, let some people are telling you, people are really giving you signs, and we
Yes.
just not paying attention.
You're not paying
And
attention.
then when somebody do something, then it's kind of like they're over the top. But it's how dramatic does somebody have to get in a sense for you to pay attention that they're asking for help.
Something's going
Right.
on.
And you know, I've been clear since my racer started last year. If you were close, you know, to me, then you knew what I was dealing with. But now, Corey told me starting this, you had to be transparent, open to a conversation. And what, you know, even with me being as transparent with my family or who's around us, I still even notice moments where they overlooked that I might have gave them a sign.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm sitting here like, all this time I'm talking about mental health. And y'all not even really paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's why with my racer, I'm trying to get it to a point that it's almost like an everyday thing. Like, you know what I mean?
I
You
do.
pay
I understand.
attention
Yeah.
to certain things every day. This is something that you automatically do, no question.
I love the fact that you were bold enough to come on here to like talk about that. We don't get that enough. You know what I'm saying? Strong individual.
Strong melanin queen.
Yes.
All minds. Y'all see her. We almost didn't make it here today.
Don't start.
We almost didn't make it here today. You hear me?
Extra.
I'm not mad at you. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Support your queen.
Oh,
man.
I got to.
And that's beautiful.
Let's go and switch it on up. to
Okay.
Mind Racer,
Go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Talk about Mind Racer.
Please tell us what you got going on, baby.
Yes.
I love
You got
to
a
talk
whole
about
lot of
Mind
stuff
Racer.
shaking.
Yeah.
Please let us know.
Yeah, so Mind Racer, like I stated, is Mind Racer, but I call it the Mind Racer brand. I chose to start spreading awareness first with clothing because how I look at it as I'm walking around with Mind Racer. My shirt says Mind Racer, changed the game. Mind Racer, changed the game mentally.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with mental health, you're going to stop and either question my shirt or you're going to want to have a conversation with me. You know, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, and when I'm walking around, when we're walking around, whoever, and they see something that says spread mental health awareness,
Yeah.
or if I put a quote or a fact on the shirt, I'm spreading awareness by you just wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't want it to just stop at clothing. Mind Racer, I have formed a street team trying to, but without even trying.
Yeah.
And
You went old school.
About to get out here in these streets.
Yes.
You went old school.
About to get out here in these streets, huh?
Yes, sir.
The streets.
and with the
Yes,
street team, because listen, you can't move mountains by yourself.
That's right.
And that's what I'm trying to get out to people now. You know, I could talk all day.
Yeah.
But there's people that you could connect with different, and there's people that you can connect with different. I can only connect to certain people that's gonna hear me.
Yeah.
I'm not very outspoken.
Right.
I'm not, the loudest. And I need people to help me. I can yell across the room when I'm mad.
Yeah.
But spreading mental health awareness, why I'm gonna be mad?
Yeah.
Yeah, she be finding shit off at the ice.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the street team is just
like, damn, babe, hold up. I stay here too.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, God.
The street team,
Yeah.
with Mind Racer having a street team, we can just do so much more.
Yeah.
We recently did little quick videos, nothing too much that for May, since May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
ma'am.
we're going to promote the hashtag Don't Give Up.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much because it's a lot of people. I know a lot of people in my circle is going through a lot.
Yes.
And I tell my friends, I tell our family, like every day,
Yeah.
don't give up. Whatever you do,
Yeah.
don't give up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what, the street team is about. And I just want to do so much more. So much more.
How long did it take? How long did it take you to create? Because that is so dope. Because when I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. Because when you're having those moments where you're dealing with PTSD or anxiety or depression, your mind is like
100 miles a minute.
It's like 100 miles per hour. So, and people don't really understand that. That's not dealing with that. So, how did you? That is just like. The way you came up with that, and then to brand that was dope, man. So how did you come up with the different designs you got? Because I love the different. I've seen quite a few of them because I'm privy to certain things. I get to see certain things. But I love what you've done with Mind Racer. But how long did it take you to come up with everything, like the different logos, or was it just you being creative at that moment?
Yeah. Okay. So
I can answer it for.
Okay.
That's my old lady. She like that. You hear me?
I got you.
Just like the name says it all, babe. I don't mean to take over.
You good?
But Mind Racer, just like you said, you knew what it was.
Oh, yeah. So did.
All these, everything she do is just.
And the letters like
it's
this,
just-
because I swear that's how you feel.
And that's what
You
her
having
mind
these
just
moments,
races.
you're doing like this, and then with I love the North Carolina infused with that. You dope. That's very creative. So you can see the lines going like zip this way, and then the letters going this way, and then you got the little swervel in there because honestly and truthfully, that's how your mind feel when your anxiety is not under control. You can't sleep.
Right.
You're up all night pacing the floor, even with PTSD. So this is dope, but this is so creative, and it speaks to the illness because I don't think people really realize it really is an illness. Like, you really got to take care of yourself. Like, you really have to be very vigilant and know what's going on with you. It's so important to know what's happening with you, your physical and your mental. Like, that's serious.
And that made me think, when they say like you can't, love somebody else before you love yourself.
So true.
And I don't think people understand
They got to
when
take
it
that
comes
literal.
to mental
you have
health.
to take that literally.
Literally.
I love that you said that. That was one of the things before me and my wife got together. And I won't speak on it too much because I respect the privacy of,
Right.
But I remember when I just got out of something that was pretty traumatic. But it wasn't that was so traumatic. There were some other things I had to deal with from my childhood that were very traumatic that nobody ever knew about other than my family members. And so when you're dealing with trauma from like way back when you 8 and 9 years old, and then you've never really faced it, yeah, you talk to therapy while you were a teenager and while you were a kid, but you're still dealing with that same trauma of why did that happen? But then you get to understand why you had so many different failed relationships because you never looked at you. You never really had an opportunity to stop for a moment and really fall in love with you as a person. Really fall in love with the individual that you are. The good, the bad, the ugly.
All of it.
All of it.
Right.
And then, accept some accountability for some of what you've been through, but also accept the fact that you were dealing with trauma too. And some of it is, I'm sick. Just like you said, I'm sick. I need some help. So really you're crying out. So when I look at the different episodes of my life, when I had those moments of insanity where I when I went on a tangent. I mean, like, I had a moment. I'll share this. I had a moment, man, when I was working for a elementary school. I was working for an elementary school, and I got fired. But the proper thing to do when you get fired is just go ahead and leave.
File unemployment.
But that's not what my mind told me. My mind said, go in there and turn that damn desk over and get in there and raise hell. And turn that mug over and get the cussing and fighting. But didn't realize I had a moment, I had a breakdown. I had a moment of insanity. So it was like, what the hell wrong with him? Then it becomes, what's wrong with him? Why you so damn mad? What you angry about? We talk about it all the time. That's not to excuse behaviors. That's not what I'm saying. But something is wrong. Why is that person behaving that way? What happened to you? Who did that to you? Why is that happening to you? So there was a lot of bogged up anger from either childhood, from just some of the things I might have perpetuated, or some of the things that might have been imposed on me as a child that I never really dealt with. And you're just mad as hell walking around. You're just like a loose cannon ready to pop off. So when I look back over all of my life, first of all, I thank God for keeping me through all of that. I never did a day in time. I went to jail. I went to jail a lot, but I never did any prison time. So I thank God that I never had to do any prison time. And I think I was telling somebody not too long ago, like, this is like the first time, Ashley, Corey, to those that are listening now, this is probably the first time I've ever been this happy in my life. That I've ever been in love with who I am as a person.
Look at God.
And look at God. You know what I'm saying? And the direction that God has me going in. Now, I lost a lot because of some of the poor decisions I made and me not facing Chris. But when I had the opportunity to face Chris, and the fact that, again, what you guys have is beautiful. God blessed me with a beautiful wife who basically was like, yo, man, we can't get together until you get you together. I can't get into a relationship with you, man, until you learn to love yourself. Then once I fell in love with Chris, it was easy for me to give her that same love because I loved who I was. It wasn't no more insecurity moments. It wasn't no more insane moments. It was none of that anymore. All that got left behind once I got to find out who Chris was. So that's a message even not only for me, but hopefully for all of you out there that are watching. Fall in love with you. You might be a little plump. You might, I got a gray beard. I embrace my gray beard. I don't dye it. I'm not insecure. I'm very confident in who I ain't Beijing. Not Beijing.
I was just about to say.
I ain't gonna put no paint on my face, but if that's what you want to do, that's your opinion. I'm not knocking anybody for that. But I love Chris. I got crooked teeth on the bottom. I love my crooked teeth. They white. They ain't black and stained. You know what I'm saying? I love Chris. So I think the message should be that we should fall in love with ourselves. When we fall in love with ourselves, man, it's easy to love somebody else. It's easy to love somebody and give somebody else that same love. But when you don't know who you are as a person, when you don't know what you're destined to be and what you're supposed to be, then shit, you losing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you
Go
know,
ahead,
you
Ashley.
said two things, and it kind of goes back to postpartum depression and our relationship. And that was another thing. It was, you know, people are always saying, you know, how do people have a baby and they are not, you know, they're not making it work, you know, not lasting. And I can only think what they're going through.
Yeah.
You know, as a relationship, you know, as a couple, first of all, I have said it, I'll say it a million times. Corey is a strong man, and it takes a strong man to deal with a woman.
Say that one more time, baby.
For one, to go through postpartum depression or just any type of mental health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he could have walked out the door.
Yeah.
It was days I pushed him out the door.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Literally.
And
No, I get it. I
No,
respect
serious.
it. I respect
Look at
that.
I'm serious.
and you said, you know, it's the happiest you been.
Yeah.
My racer was supposed to start years ago.
Talk about
I was in a bad place
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah.
When we came into 2020, right? When we bought our house, I told Corey, I'm not dealing with what I dealt with the last 2 years, and you're not gonna deal with it either.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
That's real.
that's why Mind Racer really, really, really is my baby.
Yeah.
Because it was something that I wanted to do. But I think that my purpose, I feel like God, they always say He's not going to put more than what you can handle. And I feel like what we went through in 2018 and 2019 was so
Yeah.
I can be as open
Yeah.
and strong and to say, you know what, I'm not worried. I could tell you everything I go through mentally.
Yes. Because it's about helping somebody else. Again, this platform was
Right.
built, each one, reach one, teach one.
Right.
We are continuing the legacy of Mr. Aaron T. Jones, and this right here is beautiful. I love the fact that you guys are talking about that, because there are probably a lot of relationships that probably fail because you don't talk about mental illness.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And communication
Is key.
Yeah, I'm still
And
learning that.
Transparency is necessary to get you the truth.
That's
And
my whole
and
point.
my
Yes, sir.
relationship, my communication skills isn't as, up to par as him.
It's all right, you're working on it,
But,
though.
as long as you're working on it.
Yes, you're working. You're
So,
working.
and then, you asked me about, how do I design?
Yeah.
So our design space is hectic.
Is it really?
I go crazy. I'm stressing.
Okay.
I will cry.
Okay.
I will say I'm done. I quit. I'll put it down.
But you come
back. He'll be like, you did it just rest? I'm like, no, And then something comes, I work better under pressure. I hate that I do.
Yes.
That's facts.
But that's good.
That's facts. You know how they say pressure bust pipes? Not people.
Not
Because the old lady under pressure, like that.
Yeah.
she
like
gets
that.
it done.
Yeah.
She gets it done.
It might be last minute,
Yeah, but you get it done, though.
and it'll be the best thing ever.
Yeah. You be working yourself to get in that space where you can do what you do,
Right.
Ashley.
Right.
So I respect the transparency, because we got a lot of people walking around with masks on.
Scared to say
Yeah.
They're
something.
scared to say something. They're scared to say, I used to be insecure, or I used to didn't like myself, or I was molested, or I was raped, or this and that. Man, this stuff's serious, man. Get the necessary help and healing that you need. But the only way you're gonna do that, of course, you need to be in a safe environment that's conducive for the healing to happen. And you got to be, again, the person that's on the other end has got to be a good listener. You guys talked about that,
Right.
the importance of listening, because I know when I still go to therapy. I'm pretty open about that. I still go to therapy, but it's personal, because there are days that I may not have a good day. I need
Right.
to talk about some things. I need to figure out how to navigate through this that I just may not know. It's not me self-sabotaging. It's not me self-diagnosing myself.
Right.
It's just saying, hey, I need somebody I can talk to. You can't talk to everybody, because some people will spread your business, and we don't want that. And that'll further take you deep down in the hole. But like I said, I had a real good friend of mine that was dealing with depression and anxiety. He knows who he is. And I remember he told me, he said, man, you can get through it, but you got to fight. Fight for your mental health. Fight for your mind. Fight for it.
That's what it
Fight
is.
for it. And you literally have to fight
That's
for
what
it
it
and
is.
dig deep. That was the word he used. He said dig deep on the inside, because he overcame. And he's still doing well. But I'm sure he has good days and bad days. We
Right.
all do. But the part that really gets you slumped down, he was just saying, man, dig deep, and God will help you navigate through it and get through it. And you'll have a very healthy life, a very healthy mental life, and go through this life being a productive person. So what's next for mental health outside of the clothing? What's next? I mean, if you care to share without divulging too much information.
Let me first separate the two.
Okay.
So it's Mind Racer, and then our nonprofit is In My Mind, Inc.
Can people donate to it?
Yes. So this year is really to just focus on building relationships. We just, did everything we were supposed to do. So it's more to build relationships.
Sure.
And what we want to do with it is to help somebody go see a specialist.
Yeah.
you know, some people use the not excuse, you know, they can't afford it.
That's
Okay,
right.
that's what we want to do. We are going to have an event actually out the blue decided, you know,
Sure.
have the event in July, which is to raise money to help keep kids active.
Sure.
When Mind Racer is not just for adults, even though right now we only have adult clothing, we're going to have children's clothing by
Yes.
August. But it's very important because kids' mental health,
Oh, yeah,
and they're just, you know, kids now. The scary thing about it and being a mom is the age for kids dealing with mental health illness is getting younger and younger and younger. And one of the things to do is to keep your mind active.
Yeah.
So we want to raise money all May through October to buy basketballs, footballs.
Yeah.
We actually got skates, and we actually have half of the team for Mind Racer getting skates.
Okay.
You know, I'm a
And,
shuffle.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, are you?
I'm a
Are you?
shuffle.
Yeah.
Man,
And this summer
you
we're
getting on
gonna
them skates,
skate.
boy.
It's really to roll over mental health.
I
That's
like
the campaign.
that. I
Yeah.
like that. I
So
like
we're
that.
gonna, you know, start posting soon and just encourage our children
Yeah.
and parents to get out there with your kids because, you know, at the same time when we're dealing with this, we have to also consider our kids too.
Yes.
Now that's the tough part.
Yes.
But we don't want them to grow up saying they were watching us deal with what we were dealing with.
Oh, I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. You got something else,
In
Corey?
my mind,
I know.
in my mind, Inc. Y'all go check us out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk
Support.
about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all about, just like she said, we're trying to get supplies, basketballs,
Well,
footballs.
tell the people how they can donate then. Tell them how they can
So-
donate to the organization.
So the website is www.inmymindinc.org.
All right.
And Mind Racer is getting ready to do a photo shoot.
Okay.
Yes,
CMB
sir.
Studios.
All right.
We all we got.
We all we
CMB.
got, CMB.
Yes,
And
sir.
my vision is the whole campaign topic is change the game mentally.
I love it.
And after that, I want to completely, you know, redo the site, redo everything, how
Sure.
we handle, how we promote,
Yeah.
and go hard.
Are you going to try to link up with some partners or sponsors?
Yeah.
Is there a way that people can sponsor you? Is there a way they can get at you with that?
Really, they can just connect with me on my Facebook page.
Tell them your Facebook page.
So just Ashley Freeman. And my picture, it says, "Get that bag, sis."
Okay.
That came from the Who Run the World collection. So,
Girls.
Okay.
Right. So in March, I did a Who Runs the World collection to hype
Awesome.
women up.
Oh,
so
I love that.
all March, I hype women up.
Oh, beautiful.
All women bosses, I
Yeah.
was hyping them up because you don't think people see you.
Yeah.
And literally, when she say she was hyping
Yeah.
women up, real women empowerment, I think my old lady posted and shared like 29 different
Wow.
women
It
bosses
was
in
more
10
than
days.
29. Oh,
That's
yeah, in 10
beautiful.
days.
In
Yeah.
10 days.
Oh, that's
like,
beautiful.
Women empowerment. Like,
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I think that's wonderful. It's so important that you partner with other people, your sponsorship. I think that's wonderful. What do you have planned for the month of May? Do you have anything planned?
Yeah,
Did you
so-
say? I think you said it.
So
though, didn't
we're
you?
going to do hashtag Don't Give Up.
Oh,
That's what
that's right.
Mind Racer is going to do.
Okay, gotcha.
And we're going to, you know, just promote, post little PSAs, post little videos. I started a YouTube channel. Have plenty of videos I need to post, you know, get
Sure.
up there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's to pretty much talk to everybody, you know, not only to deal with mental health and your life, you know,
Yeah.
a lot connects with it.
Yes.
And 3 things that I try to promote with that is balance, space, and energy.
Okay.
If you don't have balance in your life,
Yep.
if you don't have space in your life, if you don't have the positive energy,
Yeah.
nothing's going to go right.
I love it. I love it.
Mentally.
That's right. That's right, Ashley. I love it. Tell the people your YouTube channel. Tell them.
Vibes with 2 S's
Okay, then.
with Ash.
yeah. And I'm going to tell you this right now. My old lady on the YouTube, Vibes with Ash. Go like, share, subscribe, and ring that damn bell.
Ring that bell. You know what I'm
Ring
saying?
a ling.
I love it. Ashley, look, I am so glad that you came on today to talk about Mind Racer. And is there, if you could take a moment before we move on into the next part of the show, can you take a moment and tell some young woman, some older woman, a mother, a father, an aunt, uncle, grandkids that may be dealing with mental illness, can you find some words to encourage them in any kind of way? Can you take a moment and just do that from you, Ashley Freeman. Yeah.
I'm pretty much, anything I do, I'm speaking off of my experience. One thing that my mama has always said, shout out to you, Mom, because you watching. One of my biggest supporters.
That's right.
She always, I always call her. I'm that one that calls her mommy 100 times a day.
Right on, right on.
And she tells me, what you're going through is just a storm.
That's right.
And I have incorporated that into spreading awareness. Everybody goes through storms.
Yes, we do.
It's just a storm.
Just a storm.
When you're going through a storm, you feel like you're alone. Your mom will have you thinking everybody against you.
Yeah.
It would have you saying, I'm done with this, give up, and I can't make it. But it does not last forever.
Yeah, I love it.
Don't give up. I encourage everybody to not give up, no matter what. You cannot give up. When you feel like you're giving up, that's when you put your foot on the gas and you go in.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Ashley, for
problem.
joining us today to talk about, first of all, about your life, the transparency that you shared. I think that's so necessary because we live in a day where everybody's so fake. You don't know what's real.
They scared.
You don't know what's fake. You don't know what's real. And the fact that you were able to come on here and take the mask off, that says a lot about you as an individual. It says a lot about your partner. And I'm not just saying that because I know y'all, but like for real, y'all just a pleasure and an honor to be around. And I have so much respect because when I was with y'all, I wasn't standing in no relationship. Boy, I was like, hell no, I can't do it. But I didn't know that I was dealing with certain things. But I respect you guys. I respect your drive. I respect the intimacy that you guys have with one another and the love that you share for one another, the respect, support, like you got each other's back. And that's to be commended because y'all young and y'all black and in love and y'all making it do what it do. Y'all built this beautiful brand together. Y'all supporting each other. Y'all know I rock with you. I try to post it on my story as much as I can. You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate you.
Man,
you know what I mean?
I love Mind Racer, man.
We bless, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you got to shout out your daughters because they watch it.
Oh, you better say hey to them babies.
Hey, babies. Cadence, Kayla, that love you. Caston. Yeah. Ready for him to drop. My boy.
That boy's stupid.
My boy. Yeah, and just like you were saying,
yeah, man.
When it comes to a relationship, it's tough, but
yeah.
when you when you in love and you really see your partner's worth and
absolutely
what they really mean and
value.
what shit's standing for and look at them. Icing on the cake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So
points, boy. You getting them, boy.
Okay.
Go on and rack up. Bing, bing, bing. Yes, sir. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. Listen, here at Jetblack, it is Black History 365.
365, and let me go ahead and pop them off.
Go on and pop them off to him, little go
I
check.
don't know if you know this, babe. You watch the show, so you know I keep them Black History facts.
Come on and get it to
in
him.
the clip. Bow. Here you go. Inez Beverly Prosser, teacher and school administrator, is often regarded as the first African-American female to receive a PhD in psychology. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
The first one in psychology.
Yes, sir.
After growing up in Texas, Prosser was educated at Prairie View Normal College, the University of Colorado, and the University of Cincinnati.
Love it.
The first one.
The first one.
PhD.
Come on.
Psychology.
Yes, sir. Go on and hit him with that next
Francis Cecil Sumner.
Cecil.
Cecil Sumner. Cecil Sumner was an American leader in education reform. He is commonly referred to as the father of black psychology. He is primarily known for being the first African American to receive a PhD in psychology. So with two of them things, look at that. Black on black.
Black on black,
the good
baby.
shit, though. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Black History Fact.
Black History Fact, 365. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on to them sports,
you
man.
You already know, got some updates.
Come on, get to
Russell Westbrook is snapping.
He always.
Man,
he don't play no games.
Triple doubles.
Yeah, he don't. Yeah,
you might as well just before the game starts, just go ahead and give him a
go on and give because he get
next
the triple
game,
doubles.
go ahead and give him a nut.
Westbrook
them
like
triple
that.
Doubles is nothing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? It's just routine.
It's routine.
He's basically been doing it for like 3, 4, 5 seasons straight. Triple double.
Yeah.
Like if you know what triple double is, I'm gonna break it down right now.
Go on and break it down. Break it down.
I mean, you got the minimum you can have: 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 of them assists. So what's that? A
Triple
triple-double.
double. There it is.
You hear me?
Come on, get it to him.
Yeah,
Now,
got
whoa,
some boxing. Got some boxing updates coming for you right now, coming in hot.
Look here. While you coming in hot, I need you to back it right back on up and talk about Duke basketball. Go.
What about him? What you trying to say?
I need you to talk about it.
Why?
I need for you to talk about Coach K. I need you to talk about the program. All right? I just need you to go on back and talk about it.
They talking about Duke basketball level of success, which we all know it's not really that high
Duke
as of lately. But
it don't matter.
they talking
It's
about
on
the
here.
success season
Let's
they gonna
talk
have
about it.
next season because he ends on one position. Inconsistent guard, which we already knew because they came from Duke. Inconsistent guard. And like he in Tar Heel Nation, you know what I mean? Ty Lawson, Kendall Marshall. Need I say more? But
I
we
don't
gonna
need you to say no
get
more.
back to
I just
this.
need you to talk about Duke.
Player merit, they said inconsistent guard play merit the Duke basketball team in the past season.
We're not going to put emphasis on the inconsistent part, okay?
Hey,
It says
you
going
told me
into.
to read it.
Wait a minute, going into the.
You told me to read
22.
it. Didn't you? First of all, these my sports facts. This my section. You see how they do? Always want to come in and try to take over.
Listen, I just wanted him to talk about the progression.
It didn't say progression. It said inconsistent guard play. What messed y'all up last year, and y'all hoping y'all do better next year. That's all they were saying. Let's get back to these boxing updates, baby. You know we love some boxing. We watch all the boxing. You know what I mean?
Hold on the back.
What back?
You ain't got it.
What back you talking about?
Hold on, I know what these sports ain't. What's up with the sports?
I got the boxing right here.
All right, then go on and do your thing.
We off for
then.
Duke. You know we love boxing. You know what I mean?
You think you slick?
We out of the
You
Duke play.
think you slick?
They talking about Iron Mike Tyson about to step in the ring
You
again.
think you slick?
Mike Tyson. What you think about that? He don't need to after that Roy Jones. You got something you want to add on? But
You
yeah, like they
think
said,
you
he's stepping back in the ring.
You think you slick?
But this time, he'll be doing it with a former 3-time world heavyweight champion, Lennox Lewis. You don't know who that is, do you? All right, he's a beast. Lennox Lewis. Didn't Lennox used to have dreads back in the day?
I'm not
Didn't
talking.
Lennox Lewis have dreads? I think him and Mike Tyson got into it at the last press conference.
Absolutely.
They was throwing hands and stuff.
He's from the UK, I think. He talks
He a
with an
beast, though.
accent.
You know what I mean? They said
like that.
three-time world heavyweight champion.
Absolutely.
So he ain't no slouch at all. You know
That's
what I mean?
it. That's it. All right then.
That's
so
it.
getting back to the sports, like we were saying a few minutes ago, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Ashley?
Like that.
We go through this all the time on this show, okay?
Right.
I just want you to know that.
He a dookie.
All right? This ain't got nothing to do with Duke, but this got something to do with Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, did I miss
Previously held the top spot
Did I miss that?
in the 2019 dethroning Tom Brady,
Did I
who
miss
had
that?
reigned over the number one spot in 3 seasons prior. Now, Tom Brady's move to the Buccaneers really helped him ascend to the top of the rankings again.
Yeah, they won that Super Bowl against them. You remember that, baby? We watched it at the Heights with hamburger dip and chicken wings and stuff like that when the Chiefs lost. But yeah, continue on.
All right. According to the NFLPA, Brady broke Fanatics records for the most jerseys sold in the single season. He also accounted for 19% of all Buccaneers sales after the Super Bowl. All right.
It
But
seemed like
Kansas-
that whole Kansas City NFL sports update was about Tom Brady to me. That's what it sounded like. Go ahead, Unc. You can talk about them Chiefs.
How about them Chiefs? Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Mahomes has fallen to the number 2 spot in the NFLPA's year-end merchandise sales. But he gonna get that back. All right?
Ain't the only
That's-
damn second spot he fell to lately. You hear me? Because they won number 1 last year.
Ah, oh boy. Okay then.
Yeah. And that includes the sports updates. You know
That
what I mean?
includes-
Gucci. Lil Gucci. Sports updates. What you got for me, Unc?
You got some current news updates. You got 5 people are dead, including 2 North Carolina sheriff deputies, after a check on a person who did not show up for work ended up in gunfire and a 13-hour standoff, authorities said.
13 hours.
13 hours now. I think it happened up in Boone, North Carolina. I think that standoff was in Boone, North
Yeah,
Carolina.
we seen it on the news.
Yeah. And then the sheriffs, then the sheriff deputies were ambushed and fatally wounded heading down to the basement of the home in Watauga County. Sheriff Lynn Hagman told reporters on Thursday. Listen, administration is taking steps to ban menthol and flavored cigarettes and all flavored cigars, including menthol flavor, within the next year.
What?
I swear.
Say that again, Unc.
They getting ready to ban them.
Ban what?
Who? Menthol flavor.
Who?
The administration.
Who banning?
The government.
What administration?
This government.
When they doing that?
Real soon.
For what?
Next year.
Why?
They saying it's bad for
Menthol.
us. Menthol.
Then you said cigars.
Cigars.
Flavored. Backwood.
Backwood.
Who?
Backwood.
No.
They finna get rid of all of that.
We need to call
Black
somebody
and
about
mild.
this. We got to sign a petition. We're going to start it up. What's the website we be saying? What is it?
It's not on change.org.
Oh, okay. Well, we need to change that shit .org. Menthol, backwoods. You know what's going to happen in the hood?
I understand.
You know what's going to happen in the hood? You going to tell me they can't go to a store and get a black and mild?
But listen, I understand.
They can't go get a jazz.
Boy, I tell you, nephew.
They can't go get a wine.
Boy, nephew,
Wood
listen.
tip, plastic tip, backwood, berry, honey, white Russian.
He is a connoisseur, as you can see. But listen.
It's not okay. This shit might be worse than when the crack hit in the 80s.
It's going to be rough around here.
It's
going to be rough around here, ain't it?
All right, but just hear everybody in the street thumping.
That's when mental health gonna get free.
I'm telling you.
No. So listen.
And when they supposed to do that again?
Starting within the next year.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something
Next
about this.
year, they talking about canceling them all.
I know you with me.
But I think what's going to happen is, I think that's because they get ready to legalize marijuana. I do. I think it's kind of like a give and take.
So why are you taking the backwoods away?
But I'm telling you,
that's what you roll the press in. That's how you make the donkey leg. I almost said the other word, but I know my daughter's watching. That's how you pearl game strong. You know what I mean? Look like a thumb extendo.
But I think that's what it is. I think they getting rid of that because they're getting ready to legalize marijuana.
But they
so
better bring it back.
They like, well,
Wood.
It's like a give and take.
Bring it back, Wood. And who?
But
you said the administration.
The administration, the government. But here's the serious part about it. In all seriousness, the aim is to significantly reduce disease and death from using these two products. Smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So, in a sense, they are looking for.
You said they're gonna legalize the bud.
Well,
but they're gonna take the rolling utensils away.
Well, I think at the end of the day,
I know 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 ain't 3.
Oh, boy, you crazy. But see, they legalizing it. It's gonna be legalized. Marijuana gonna be legalized.
So what the people gonna put it in?
I don't know, man. But I'm just telling you.
What they gonna put it in?
You better get you some raw paper, some top paper.
No, nobody want no raw, man. Want them backwood.
You better start.
Want that backwood. We gotta start buying boxes now. Look, everybody at home, go buy the boxes. You can buy at the store. It's about to be over. What we gonna do?
Boy, you crazy.
Well, what y'all gonna do?
Oh, Lord. Look, Gucci, you something else, man.
Tell me something I don't.
Nephew, you so. So, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's like a give and take. I think
you
the
had to
government,
throw that little fact on the back end. That was cool.
Yeah, I just think that's at the end of the day, I think that's what it's about. And listen, our topic today was on mental illness, so we're going to close it out with this, and then we're going to talk about injustice in America. So I'm going to say this right here. Here are 5 warning signs of mental illness to watch for, especially when you have 2 or more of these symptoms. Long-lasting sadness or irritability, extreme high and low moods, extremely high and low moods, excessive fear, worry, or anxiety, social withdrawal, dramatic changes in eating or sleeping habits. Just pay attention to what's going on with you as a person. Look, we don't claim to be professionals on this platform, but we are sending a message for those of us that are dealing with depression and anxiety. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever it is, the highs and lows of mental illness, then we just want to tell you the message that you're not alone, that you are loved, and we do care about you enough to talk about this and have people on the platform that are willing to be bold enough, to be transparent enough, to take the mask off and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with, but this is how I overcome, and this is what I'm still doing daily so that I don't go backwards. So I hope that this topic on today has been such a help, and I hope, we added a little fun and flavor in here for you guys, too, as we continue the legacy of Mr. Aaron T. Jones.
Hashtag Pod God.
Yes, sir. Hashtag Jetblack. Each one, reach one, teach one. So listen, we always like to close our show out with the injustice that we see happening in America, something that's very near and dear to myself. I have become very, very passionate about this. I'm really saddened about what I see happening to us as a people.
On a daily.
And so one of the things I'm going to bring up, as you know, we have this incident that happened in Salisbury, North Carolina, with the 68-year-old librarian who is suing the city right now as we think in Salisbury, right now as we speak here in Salisbury, and the Rowan County Sheriff's Department after she said they crossed the line in arresting her during a traffic stop. And if you haven't had the chance to really, really see this video and watch how they grabbed her out of the car and pushed her down in the ground, and when I tell you they snatched her out of the car, they snatched her by her hair, the top of her hair, like she was a rag doll.
Like a little rag doll.
Like a little
You
rag
took the words
doll.
out of my mouth.
Yeah, they snatched her out of the car. They didn't grab her out of the car. They snatched her by her hair out of the car, and then they pushed her into the ground. First of all, this is a 68-year-old woman. She said that she was going 10 miles over the speed limit.
That's normal, ain't it?
That most people
Ain't that normal? What's the limit?
like if it's 65,
It's 5.
it's 5. A lot of people go 10 miles over, but it wasn't enough. She didn't have a gun.
Well, we all know what she was doing.
Right, and she said
Driving while black.
driving while black. And they pulled her out the car, and they pushed her in the ground, and it shook her up. I mean, that's somebody's wife. That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's
I
grandmother.
was about to say 68. That's somebody's
60,
granny,
that's
man.
somebody's granny. If you could, when you get a chance, check that out. And I promise you, man, it will change the way you look at it. And listen, I'm going to name these names, and then I'm going to close out. George Floyd, Eric Garner, Breonna Taylor, Dwayne Wright, Matthew Zadok Williams, Andrew Brown. We're still dealing with that. If you get a chance, visit change.org. Anthony Taylor, Harold Taylor, Josiah Dickens, free Greg Mingo, sign the petition. Mothers Against Police Brutality, Prison Reform Alliance. Reform is committed to transmitting probation, parole throughout the United States by changing laws, systems, and culture. Listen, get out there. You have a voice. Use your voice. Go on these lines and go on these websites and support. Listen, out of the words of Huey P. Newton, you can't kill the dreamer. You can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. Listen, this is the Jet Black Daily Show. I'm Mr. Jet Black, Carl Ross Sr.
And it's your boy, Corley Gucci Graves.
Peace.